Hello. More interesting to me than the Luciferian conspiracy itself is the belief in the Luciferian conspiracy. And there is evidence for the belief in the Luciferian conspiracy in every facet of expression. An innate resistance to everything, an innate polarity of everything, an innate chaos, like it's 99% running around without its head, an innate dissatisfaction with the way things are. And there is nothing, or practically nothing, in the universe that does not express this. And interestingly enough, this belief, this, by their fruits you will know them, they believe in this, and so they express it, is not only expressed in a general way, like the planet expresses itself in a general way, but it is also believed to be something specific, as if that one planet also has an expression form on itself, that it is one and equal. And it is this focus of that expression that those who believe in the Luciferian conspiracy actually believe in. And this is evidenced in things like the elite of the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, and the Hellfire Club of the Founding Fathers, and the Bohemian Grove. These people actually believe this stuff, and they are the ones who are in charge. And although they will go around and pretend to follow earth religions in a Machiavellian way, they have their own faith, and it sounds like it might be connected to the other religions around the world, but yet if it really is, why do they keep it secret? Why do they pretend to do something else? It is a generational preparation throughout the ages for this fruition, or the culmination, the consummation of this Luciferian conspiracy, or what they believe it to be. And this secrecy, and no matter whether it's a belief or not, it doesn't really matter, because these people actually are in charge of the world events, and they are bringing about what they believe to be this consummation. And we are all participating in it, whether we want to or not, or know about it, or believe in it. It doesn't really matter. These people do. And I began to investigate it. I began to say, what is this Luciferian conspiracy? That it is such a focus of the elite of this world. And something I found is Lucifer as an entity questioned God. And that, perhaps in and of itself, is enough. Because there is a certain camp that will say you cannot question God. And Lucifer's very existence proves that wrong. Say, whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. I can question God. I can look God in the face and say, are you sure? And some don't like that. They do not like the possibility of having a questionable God. And yet it only seems natural. How can you question everything but God? Even God says, or it is written, God says, test the spirits. And God is a spirit, so therefore God must be tested also. This very act of presenting a question in and as yourself is an act of rebellion. It is saying, are you sure? I have a question here. I'm not simply accepting it because it is told to me by God. And this, to me, came about as an experiment of the universe itself to, one, test the theory, can I separate myself from myself in such a way that I forget myself, and by my own devices come back to realization of myself as equal to myself. Also, to create a universe full of equals to the universe, in such a way that not only the grand scheme of things universe is understanding of itself, but each and every individual entity also understands itself as the universe understands itself as each individual entity. That is also one of the goals of the universe through what is called the Luciferian conspiracy. Now, whenever there is separation, whenever there is polarity, there is always, right and wrong. One side is never all right and one side is never all wrong. And throughout the ages of participating in this resistance and this continued expansion of, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to accept it. No, 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 no. It, of course, has consequences. It manifests itself equally to that which is, because that is what it is. And this anti-slave culture created more slaves. That side that was saying you should not be doing this was creating the side that says you should be doing this. The resistance and the non-resistance were creating each other. And the point that things began to change was the realization that we are co-creators. We are equals. We are not here in competition. We are to be here in cooperation. And there is no more true polarity because it is based on a belief. I am not actually separate from myself. I'm not actually separate from you. It is a belief that we are. And that is the point. And interestingly enough, in my investigations, I have found that the Jesus message is for Lucifer. And this is because if Lucifer can do it, anyone can do it. That is the practical application of the Luciferian conspiracy. There is no limit. There is no, say, outside wall to say you can't get in and we can't get out. Anyone is welcome. And when Jesus told Satan, "Get thee behind me," Satan became a follower of Jesus. And whatever the reason in the beginning, the end result is perhaps best described by Paul the Apostle, who said himself, "Follow me, following Christ." And Paul the Apostle was born Saul, the Hebrew. And Saul is Sheol, or land of the dead. And when it was converted from Shaul to Paul, it went to the small, which is Yah the small, that one that got away, the prodigal son, to let the dead bury the dead and come follow me. The sun rises on the righteous and the unrighteous. It does not judge. It is equal. And this is the universe's message to itself. I don't judge you. You don't judge me. We do not judge. I do not judge. And therefore you cannot be convicted of anything. And it was that point of self-forgiveness when it is wiped clean, like I forgive myself. I forgive myself for all that I participated in and believed in and thought and didn't think and didn't believe and didn't do. That is the point of change. That is the 0 point of pivot that says everything that was against me now becomes for me. And I forgive it to myself. And interestingly enough, that is what has happened. The kingdom of God is within us, but it is without us because we live it. The Luciferian conspiracy perhaps started based on the thought that there was more than one king. Well, yes, there is more than one king. We are all kings. We are all walking examples of what life should be. Now, do we believe this? No. But is it true? It can be, if you do it. And that is the point. Thank you.